what evidence is there for the engine that's going to be in the upcoming Audi RS5 event? And also, what kind of powertrain can we expect it to have? What type of electrification can we expect this car to have? And also, how much power can we expect this car to have? So I'm going to be answering all of those questions in this video based on everything we know about the upcoming Audi RS5 event. And then we are going to look at spy shots of the prototypes of this car so that we can see what we can expect this car to be like. So without further ado, let us get into it. The upcoming Audi RS5 Avant is going to be a replacement for the outgoing B9 Audi RS4 Avant and also the Audi RS5 Coupe and Audi RS5 Sportback. This Audi RS5 is going to come in two shapes, which is going to be the RS5 Avant and also RS5 Sedan, which is sort of like a fastback design because of the way the boot opens. So this model of the upcoming Audi RS5 Avant is expected to retain the same 2.9-litre V6 that we found in the B9. We can expect this for two main reasons. First reason is that Audi have said that they're not going to put a four-cylinder in any RS car ever. So basically, we can rule that out completely, that it's never going to have. It's just not going to have a four-cylinder engine. And then the second thing is that Audi have spoken about the replacement for the B9 Audi RS4. And what they have spoken about, what they've said about it, and the engine that it's going to have is that it's going to be a six-cylinder, an electrified six-cylinder engine, right? So this means that it's very highly likely that it still will retain this 2.9-litre V6 that we find in the B9 Audi RS4 and Audi RS5 Avant, and Audi RS5 Sportback and Coupe as well. And then the third reason why we can expect this car to retain the 2.9-litre V6 is simply when you watch the spy videos, you can hear the sound of this car. It's got a V6 noise. It's definitely not a four-cylinder, as we know. Definitely does not sound like a V8. You're gonna hear it for yourselves. I'm just gonna play the clip right now so that you guys can hear it for yourselves. So as you can hear, even though that is extremely muted, it's a very muted exhaust, you can barely hear it really, but you can make out that it's not a four-cylinder, it's not an eight-cylinder, it's a six-cylinder. So that, based on the evidence, confirms that this car is very highly likely. In fact, I would even say without a doubt, it's going to come with the same 2.9-litre V6, maybe tuned differently with more power, who knows. But we'll talk about that. We'll get into power things and power figures a bit later of how much power we can expect this upcoming car to have. But in terms of the internal combustion component of the powertrain of this car is going to retain the 2.9-litre V6. Let's get into the electrification of this car and let's go deeper into the powertrain, the information on the powertrain about this car. So there's a much stronger case for this car being a plug-in hybrid than there is for it being a mild hybrid, simply because of two reasons. The first reason is that there are two filler caps on this car. There's one on the left and then there's one on the right. So this means that obviously there's one for electricity, basically one where you plug in and then charge batteries, and there's one where you fill it up with petrol. So this is going to be most likely a plug-in hybrid. But the second reason, and this one is more of a predictor of this car being a plug-in hybrid, is that there are also other cars in the VW Audi group. When you take this and then you put it also with the first reason, this reason becomes even more significant. Why? Because in the Porsche Panamera 4 SE hybrid, you have a 2.9-litre V6, the same 2.9-litre V6 that we find in the Audi RS4 and RS5 Avant the B9. So this V6 is also mated with a 25.9 kilowatt hour battery, which is the same size battery that we find in the latest Audi A5. The B10 Audi A5 also has a 25.9 kilowatt hour battery. Another car that has the exact same battery size is the Bentley Flying Spur Hybrid, the latest, the 2025 Bentley Flying Spur Hybrid also has a 25.9 kilowatt hour battery. So this shows you that Audi is using this battery, and they have also made the PPC platform, which the Audi A5 is on, to accommodate the same size 25.9 kilowatt hour battery. So this is very highly likely that this car is going to be a plug-in hybrid. Why? Because they have developed a platform to carry that size of battery, the 25.9 kilowatt hour battery. So that is a very important telling sign that this car is going to have a battery and an electric motor, or some electric motors, and it's basically going to be a plug-in hybrid. So we are going to see how that affects this car, because obviously that means it's going to be heavier, which we are going to get to a bit later. So in this section of the video where we're going to talk about the power, we're basically going to look at the Porsche Panamera 4 SE Hybrid and the Bentley Flying Spur Hybrid, so that they can help us to see how much power we can expect this upcoming Audi RS5 Avant to have, right? So we have already established that they have the same size batteries, 25.9 kilowatt hours for all these cars. The Audi A5, the latest Audi A5, the B10, the hybrid, has a 25.9 kilowatt hour battery. Why is that important? Before I continue on to the other cars, that is important because that shows that the platform that the Audi RS5 Avant and sedan is going to be on is going to have that same size battery, because it was made to support that amount or that battery capacity. So that is why that is so significant. And then when you look at the Porsche Panamera 4 SE Hybrid, this car has a long name, but the Porsche Panamera 4 SE Hybrid, when you look at that car, it has the same size battery. How much power does that electric motor in that car produce? It produces 140 kilowatts, which is the exact same that we get in the Bentley Flying Spur Hybrid. Same amount of power from the electric motor. So is it far-fetched for us to expect the upcoming Audi RS5 Avant to have the same amount of power from the electric motors? That's what we're gonna have to find out. We're gonna have to wait and see. All of this is speculation, but this is literally all we can do until the car gets released. So I would say if this does not give us the exact figure, it could give us at least a ballpark area of how much power we can expect this car to have. So 140 kilowatts is what we are currently working with right now, right? And then when you look at the current RS5, or let me say, when you look at the B9 Audi RS5 and RS4, you get 331 kilowatts from the internal combustion engine, 331 kilowatts. So if you add that 140 kilowatts, and then you add it to that 331 kilowatts that we get in the B9, that all adds up to 471 kilowatts. Some people are expecting it to have 387 kilowatts, which are conservative estimates, 387 kilowatts, which is still a big bump up in power from 331 kilowatts for Audi. But yeah, I mean, it's a plug-in hybrid. It's going to be heavy. They're going to have to make up for the weight. So they're going to have to bump up the power a bit more than they did in the previous generations of this car. So I don't know. I want to hear what you guys have to say about it. And also, I want you to also keep this one thing in mind. All of these numbers and this power, the speculated power of 471 kilowatts that I have said here, it's all based on the 331 kilowatts that is in the B9 Audi RS4. So maybe Audi could bump up the power in the engine as well, the internal combustion engine, as they have done in the Edition 25 Audi RS5, which had 345 kilowatts. We will see. Who knows, man? The only way to find out is when this car gets released, but that is what we can expect based on the evidence that we have currently. So now let's talk about the elephant in the room, which is the weight. So how much can we expect this car to weigh? So for reference, let's start off first with the B9 Audi RS4 Avant, the outgoing model. So the outgoing model weighed 1,790 kilograms. The B10 Audi A5 Avant Hybrid weighs 2,160 kilograms, which is a big bump up in weight. And the sedan, by the way, in case you're curious, the sedan weighs around 10 kilograms less than the Avant, the B10 Avant Hybrid. And then when you look at the C63 SE Performance, also gained a significant amount of weight. It weighs around about the same as the A5 Avant, the hybrid. So I'd say the RS5 Avant, we can expect it to weigh around about the same, maybe even more, because it's gonna have a bigger engine, a V6. But I don't think it's gonna be much different from the A5 Avant, but it's gonna be a heavier car. There is a major difference in the grille from the regular A5 to the Audi RS5. The RS5 looks more bespoke, more special compared to the A5 from the front end because of that bigger grille. Some people might complain about it, but I think it's pretty cool. I like that. I like the differentiation between the A5 and the RS5. It's about time Audi was a little bit more expressive with things like that. Now here's another big change that we can see from the previous models, from the previous generations of this car, is that the exhaust tips are going to be closer to the center than they used to be in all the other previous Audi RS4s. So that is actually another big difference between this RS5 Avant and the previous models, which also is a sign of Audi really trying to make this car more special than the others used to be. Yeah, I don't know, man. I just think it's gonna be a good looking car. So I want to hear your thoughts in the comments below. So comment down below what you guys think this car is going to look like, or what you think of the design so far. So that is everything that we know so far about the upcoming Audi RS5 Avant. As to when it's going to get released, as to how much it's going to cost, there isn't really any concrete information out there about it. Follow this page, subscribe to this channel, because I'm gonna do a lot more updates on a lot of other cars as well, upcoming cars. For now, yeah, man, next week I'll be talking about the upcoming Mercedes CLE63. We all know that Mercedes is going to come back with a V8. There are some details about this V8 that are going to be very interesting. Some exciting details, I would say slightly more exciting than this RS5 Avant. So make sure to subscribe and stay tuned, because that video is also going to be really good. But for now, thank you for watching. See you next week, and bye.